Before Wimpy Kid, before YouTube, before whatever else I do, there was modeling. Now, if you haven't seen my acting journey video, here's a link to that video. It might help answer some questions you may have. Anyways, let's start at the very beginning. My modeling journey began at the ripe young age of, I think, 6 or 7. I don't really remember, to be honest. At the time, I was signed with a kids modeling agency in Los Angeles called Jet Set, because my parents had been models and knew one of the agents. Nothing really came from it though. I had taken some test pictures here and there, but never booked a job. I became discouraged, and my parents and I decided not to pursue it any further. Fast forward to 8th grade. I'm 13 years old now and have an unhealthy obsession of wanting to become a runway model. I had stumbled across some videos on YouTube of male models and fashion shows and thought they were the coolest people on the planet, and I desperately needed to be that. At the time, models like Francisco Lachowski, Cole Moore, Ash Steinmist, Yuri Pleskin, they were all big names, and I wanted to do what they did. So I signed with the youth division of LA Models with my mother agent, the person who first found me, technically. From there, I got my first ever real paid modeling job for none other than Hot Topic. I ended up doing 2 shoots with them for like $500 each, and both of them went on to the front page of the website. So shout out to Hot Topic. However, I was still young and needed a chaperone and to comply with youth talent laws, so I didn't really do much after. Instead, I tried my luck elsewhere. In the modeling industry, it's pretty common for newer models to be sent to Tokyo as a first tryout location to get some work experience and build a portfolio. I figured I'd give it a shot too. Unfortunately, I didn't contact an agency beforehand to set everything up, and when I got there, I was unable to work without a work visa. Now, this was also because the agency I had thought I was going to sign with ended up not taking me on. The agency that did end up signing me told me that it could take months for the visa process to go through, and so I went home after a month in Tokyo with nothing to show for it. So fast forward again to the end of senior year. I am 16 years old and so far haven't done much besides some test shoots here and there and of course Hot Topic, but I still desperately want to be a runway model. So my mother agent connects me with an agency in Paris called Bananas. They only represent men and have responded saying they were interested in meeting me. Now I will preface this by saying sometime in between this I had gone to do a fitting for Eddie Slimane, who was the creative director of Saint Laurent at the time in Los Angeles. Nothing came from it, but it gave me a sort of official seal of approval. Back to Paris. My mother and I took a trip to Paris for Men's Fashion Week in January. I met with an agency. I signed with them. They send me out to some castings, and I get nothing. Zip. Nada. I'd gotten so close to realizing my dream that I couldn't give up just yet. So I go home, graduate high school, and head back to Paris in June of the same year. This time I'm on my own, and I'm ready to go. I ended up going to every single casting they sent me, walking all over the city for a week until I finally got something. That season, I ended up doing 2 shows, my first ever being for Rick Owens. It was a dream come true. There isn't much that compares to the rush you get when you walk down the runway. It's terrifying and exhilarating all at the same time. The second show I walked that season was Lanvin. At that one, they slicked my hair back and the hairdresser burned my scalp with a blow dryer so bad that it blistered and scabbed. Before heading home, I made a quick stop to New York to see if I could find an agency there. I went to as many as I could and nobody really wanted me, but I did end up signing to an agency there, but since I was never in New York and acting became more important, they dropped me soon after. So now I'm back in LA and mainly focusing on acting, but at the same time doing some modeling jobs here and there when they come. I ended up modeling for a number of things from editorials to campaigns, personal projects, whatever. Let's just run through what I have saved, shall we? There's probably some I'm missing either because I forgot about them or I never got the photos. But then in 2018, I get a call from Celine asking to send some photos over. At this point, Eddie Slimane had just been named the creative director and was having his first ever show in Paris, but I was still in LA. They call me in the morning, and next thing I know, I'm flying out that afternoon. I walked the first show of his at Celine, and it was fantastic. They gave us all these commemorative hoodies, which, now that I think about it, is the only time I ever got free clothes from modeling. After that show, I did some little things here and there, but nothing memorable until 2020 when I did a campaign for Saint Laurent. It was this super intense video shoot where they had me sliding down rooftops and jumping out of windows, which they didn't end up using, of course, but that experience felt like making a movie. And after all that, both of my agencies in LA and Paris ended up dropping me in 2022, 2023. One, because it was a whole new team and they didn't know what to do with me. And the other, because my agent had unfortunately passed away suddenly, but they never told me. And one day, when I checked the website, I was gone. And mind you, this was one of the biggest modeling agencies in the world, too. But anyways, here we are now, unsigned and getting older. I still submit myself to modeling things here and there, but I don't know, I'm still undecided whether or not I want to get back into the game yet. I do miss the energy of walking a runway show or the feeling of getting really good pictures taken, but, being a model is a lot of fun. It's easy money, it's sexy, but it can definitely be a short-lived career, and there's so much more else out there I want to try and do and see. So I'll explain all the good and bad and the process of becoming a model in another video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. But if not, hey, leave a comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time.